received well, let's back up. Earlier today, I received, the clerk received via email a request from Ms. Barr that the court re-admonish the jury regarding not watching the media accounts. Is that correct? And I denied the request after the clerk sent it to all counsel. I've admonished them numerous times not to watch the media, and I did not feel it would be appropriate to interrupt their deliberations and bring them here in open court and admonish them. But now that they're going to be here anyway, I will admonish them further. Do you have anything else you want to add to that, Ms. Barr? No, okay. And then with respect to note number 2, the court did receive note number 2. It states, can we please get a readback of Jane Doe number 4's testimony as well as Nicole Edwards' testimony? That request is going to be granted. It's going to be read here in open court. Mr. Winslow did not waive his right to be present during the readback, and it is his right to be present. So we will bring the jury in for the readback. Stephanie has prepared the readback. She has removed any stricken testimony, any sidebars, any objections. There's also a couple of points where we're going over the page numbers and transcripts. She's not going to read that. It doesn't really pertain to the witness's testimony. So she will read that back. It's the court's custom to have the readback of the testimony done in its entirety. And I know counsel and I just discussed that in chambers. There is an option to having her stop when the jury so indicates, but the defense wants all the testimony read. Is that correct, Mr. Carlos? Yes. All right. Any objection to that, Mr. Owens?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so the testimony of both witnesses will be read in their entirety.
Your Honor, can I ask that you said that the page numbers and transcripts refer, we're talking about previous testimony?
From the preliminary hearing.
Okay.
It's mostly between counsel when counsel was asking what page, and the court was asking which page and line number as well. Do you want that included?
Well, when I'm asking the witness a question and I'm referring to previous testimony, I'm referring to a page and line. Isn't that correct?
From the preliminary hearing, and it's for the court's benefit and Mr. Owens' benefit, because I have the transcript on my computer and I would follow along. So, do you want her to read the page numbers?
Yeah,
we're spending more time arguing about it than it would have taken for her to just go ahead and read them. So,
I would, yeah, because we're talking about a previous testimony referred to in the sworn testimony. I think it might be.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, then I'll have the court reporter read those page lines and numbers. I'm going to instruct the jurors not to have any discussions while they're here in open court because they are not to deliberate unless they are by themselves. Also, the next question, it's not really a question, it's a statement. We are missing exhibit number 154. That is the exhibit that was excluded. It was marked and not admitted, and I will explain that to them. All right? Are there any further requests before we bring in the jury? All right, let's bring them in. All right, we are back on the record. We are now meeting in the presence of the jury. All 12 jurors are present. Again, Mr. Winslow and all counsel are present. I received jury note number 2, signed by juror number 6. Are you the foreperson? Yes? Okay, so the note reads, can we please get a read back of Jane Doe number 4's testimony as well as Nicole Edwards' testimony? Then it says also we are missing exhibit number 154. Can we please get that? So I've called you into open court here today for a couple reasons. We're going to address the note, but before I do that, I want to, I know I've told you this several times, but now is very critical. You have to avoid all media contact. Don't watch any media accounts of this. As you can imagine, there's a lot of anxiety about the verdict, and there's people commenting on it. It's very important at this crucial stage that you avoid reading anything or watching any coverage whatsoever. Also, if you become aware of any other juror that happens to be watching something or they talk about some news coverage they saw, you have to bring that to the court's attention as well. So please be extra vigilant. I know you have been throughout the course of the trial, but at this point it's extremely important that you stand by that admonishment. All right, first of all, with respect to exhibit number 154, that exhibit was marked and it was discussed, but it was not received in evidence. So I know in the note you said you're missing it. It was not an error. It does not go back into the jury room. There was some discussion about what was said, and that's a printout of the text messages. So you don't actually get the printout, but there was testimony about the printout, and that is certainly admissible. And you're going to hear the readback regarding both Jane Doe number 4 and Nicole Edwards, where they discussed the contents of exhibit number 154, but that exhibit did not go back into evidence and you will not be receiving it. Now, with respect to the readback, the court reporter, Stephanie, has gone through the transcript. I know we were going to start at 1:30, but it took a little more time than she thought it would, and she worked through lunch getting the transcript ready to go. So I apologize for the slight delay, but we want to make sure that everything is in order before we read it back to you. That includes removing any testimony that was stricken. If it was stricken, we don't want to read it back to you during readback. So as I said before, it takes a long time to get it ready. But Stephanie is ready with the readback. We will read back first the testimony from Jane Doe number 4. Stephanie will read straight through. She's going to read all of the testimony, which will include the direct and cross-examination and any redirect or recross, and then she will do the same for Nicole Edwards' testimony. It's important that you not discuss the case with each other during the readback. During readback, you are only to listen. You can't talk about it with each other because you can only deliberate when the 12 of you are together back in the jury room and only in the jury room. So as I said before, even if all 12 of you go to lunch, you can't talk about the case because you're not in the jury room and you're not in a quiet place. So that includes the courtroom. You cannot deliberate while you're here. You cannot discuss the case with each other at this time either. So what we're going to do now is I will go off the record and Stephanie will begin by reading Jane Doe number 4's testimony, followed by Nicole Edwards. All right, anything from the people at this point, Mr. Owens? No, thank you. Anything from the defense? All right, then we will go off the record and Stephanie will begin to read back.
Direct examination of Jane Doe 4 by Mr. Owens. Good morning, Jane Doe 4. Answer, good morning. Question, I'm going to refer to you as Jane Doe 4. I apologize if that makes you uncomfortable in any way. Answer, okay. Question, now how old are you as of today? Answer, I am 33. Question, where do you live? Without giving the specific address, but generally speaking, where do you live? Answer, in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Question, are you married? Answer, yes. Question, what does your husband do? Answer, he is a Marine. he is in the aviation field. Question, are you stationed there with the Marine Corps currently? Answer, yes. Question, do you have any children? Answer, I do. Question, how many children do you have? Answer, I have 2. Question, what are their ages? Answer, 1 and 3. Question, now in terms of where you've lived over the course of your life, at some point did you live in the San Diego area? Answer, I did. Question, did you move out of the San Diego area after high school? Answer, yes. Question, where did you move? Answer, Hawaii. Question, and after being in Hawaii, is that where you met your husband? Answer, yes. Question, being a military wife, have you moved around a lot? Answer, yes. Question, in terms of where you lived in high school, first, what high school did you go to? Answer, I went to 2 different high schools. I went to Mount Carmel and Escondido High School. Question, when you were a senior in high school, or your last year here in California, what high school were you going to? Answer, Escondido High School. Question, so in terms of when you were in Escondido, did you still stay friends with people that you had met who went to Mount Carmel or other high schools in the area? Answer, yes. Question, now when was it that you moved to Hawaii in relation to your senior year? Answer, July of 2003. Question, how old were you in June of 2003? Answer, 17. Question, had you already planned to move to Hawaii that summer? Answer, yes. Question, what was the reason that you would be moving to Hawaii that summer? Answer, I was behind a semester in my senior year, and because I would be turning 18 over the summer, the Poway district, or not Poway district, the Escondido district stated that I would have to go to adult education and get my GED. And I wanted my diploma, so my mom suggested me going to stay with family in Hawaii. Question, is that what you ended up doing in July 2003? Answer, yes. Question, so in terms of the last year that you were physically here in California, is it fair to say that was the spring semester 2003? Answer, yes. Question, and during that time frame, did you ever meet a person who you came to know by the name of Kellen Winslow? Answer, yes. Question, do you see Mr. Winslow in court? Answer, yes. Question, where is he seated and what is he wearing for the record? Answer, he is wearing a gray suit and glasses. The court, all right, with the yellowish tie? The witness, I can only see the monitor. The court, that's right. Okay, so he has glasses on? All right, the record will reflect identification of the defendant. The witness, yes. Mr. Owens, thank you, Your Honor. Question, how did you first meet Mr. Winslow? Answer, through mutual friends at a party. Question, where was this party when you first met him? Answer, at Scripps Ranch. Question, can you describe the party as best you can? I know it's been some time, but when you first met him, just describe the location and what was going on. Answer, so it was just a house party, high school kids hanging out in somebody's home. Question, and you mentioned it was in the Scripps Ranch area. Do you remember what type of house it was when you first met him? Answer, it was like a ranch house, just one-story home. Question, about how many people would you say were at the party? Answer, more than 20, I would like to say. Question, were you drinking that night? Answer, no. Question, on the night that you first met Mr. Winslow, who were the mutual friends, if you remember what their names were? Answer, so Nikki Edwards, Chris Rios, and Mel John Sebastian. Yeah. Question, and the person that you mentioned is Nikki Edwards, is that Nicole Edwards? Answer, yes. Question, does she go by the nickname Nikki? Answer, yes. Question, and the other person you mentioned was Chris. Do you recall his last name? Answer, Rios. Question, and you mentioned another male. What was his name? Answer, Mel John. Question, can you spell that if you know? Answer, Meljohn. Question, and on that time when you first met him, how is it that you knew these mutual friends? Answer, well, Nikki I went to school with at Mount Carmel before going to Escondido High School, so we have been friends since freshman year. She was seeing Meljohn at the time, or talking, and Meljohn's sister was the one that was dating Chris Rios. Question, and did you know Meljohn or Chris very well? Answer, no. Question, was Nicole or Nikki the person who was kind of the mutual friend in common? Answer, yes. Question, and how was it that you were introduced to Mr. Winslow that night? Answer, he was hanging out with Chris Rios and Meljohn. Question, and was that the first time you had ever actually seen him? Answer, yes. Question, did you know anything about him when you met him that night? Answer, no. Question, did you know what school he went to? Answer, no. Question, did you know if he was in high school or college? Answer, no. Question, how was it that you were introduced to him? Answer, we were all just standing around and saying hi, who are you, just mutual introduction. Question, do you remember if he introduced himself to you? Answer, I don't remember. Question, so then tell us what happened after you first met him that night at the party with about 20 people there. Answer, we were all just hanging out, chit-chatting, drinking, just talking and having fun hanging out with people. Question, now initially you said that you hadn't been drinking. Was that at the time that you first met Mr. Winslow? Answer, yeah, I hadn't been drinking. Nicole and I know Meljohn had been drinking. Later into the evening, do you remember if you had any alcohol? Answer, no, I did not. Question, after you guys were hanging out at the first house party, what happened? Answer, we ended up going to one of Chris and Kellan's friends' house. Question, and do you remember what part of town that was in? Answer, in Scripps. Question, do you remember what month this was that you first met Kellan at this party that first night? Answer, in June. Question, and it was towards the end of the school year? Answer, yes. Question, and was there any particular occasion for this first party that you met him at? Answer, I believe it was a graduation party. We would all hear about certain people's graduation parties, but not necessarily know who the person was. Question, when you would make plans to go out for the evening, would you basically just go look for whatever party you could find as a high schooler? Answer, yeah. Question, and as you were leaving this first party, you mentioned you were going to a house that Mr. Winslow and Chris knew of, is that right? Answer, correct. Question, did Miss Edwards, Nikki Edwards, did she go with you? Answer, yes. Question, can you tell us if you remember how you got from the first party to the next house? Answer, we were in Nikki's vehicle and we just followed them. Question, do you remember what type of car Nikki drove? Answer, she drove a Ford Explorer. Question, and when you say that you followed them, who is it that you and Nikki followed? Me and Nikki and Meljohn was in the car with us, followed Chris and Kellan, and I don't know who else was in the car with them. Question, and what type of place did you go to after you followed them? Answer, to somebody's 2-story home. Question, that was also in Scripps Ranch? Answer, correct. Question, do you know whose home it was? Answer, I did not. Question, when you got there, was anybody else present? Answer, yes. Question, how many people would you say were at the second home that you went to? Answer, a handful. Question, a smaller gathering maybe than the first party? Answer, yes. Question, would you characterize it as an after party? Answer, correct. Question, what time in the evening would you say this was, approximately? Answer, past 11 o'clock at night. Question, when you and Nikki got there, do you remember where you went? Answer, we were hanging out, I want to say, in like the living room. We were just sitting around hanging out. Question, who was there in the living room when you were there hanging out? Answer, me and Nikki, Mel John, Chris, Kellan. I don't know who else the other people were. Question, do you remember any of the names of the other people who were present? Answer, his friend Matt. Question, and when you say his friend, who are you referring to? Answer, Kellan. Question, can you just describe your interaction with Kellan through the night from the point you first met him to where you're now hanging out in the living room? Answer, just, I want to say light flirting, you know, sitting close, nudging each other, just kind of being silly, flirty teenagers. Question, when you had met him, did you think he was attractive? Answer, yes. Question, when you say that you were flirty, were you being flirtatious with him? Answer, not initially. Question, was he being flirtatious with you? Answer, yes. Question, once he had started to be flirtatious with you, did you respond? Answer, yes. Question, was that what you mean by not initially? Answer, yes. Question, so when you say that you were being flirtatious, what were you doing? Answer, just nudging back, leaning in, not anything like, hey, we should blah, blah, blah. Just, you know, kind of being nudging and touchy like with my arm. Question, were there other people around you when you were hanging out in the living room doing that? Answer, yes. Question, what happened after you started with this initial being flirty? Answer, I don't know specific words or how it came to, but me and him ended up walking upstairs to a bedroom. Question, did you go on your own free will? Answer, yes. Question, did you decide you wanted to go upstairs with him? Answer, yes. Question, tell us what happened when you went upstairs with him. Answer, we started making out, clothes started to be removed. We were kissing and touching, starting to have sex, and the door opened. Question, when you say that we were starting to have sex, did you actually begin to have sex with Mr. Winslow? Answer, yes. Question, does that mean penile vaginal intercourse? Answer, yes. Question, were you basically hooking up with somebody you had just met? Answer, yes. Question, now after that happened, the door opening, what do you remember seeing? Answer, his friend Matt walking in. Question, and the friend Matt, did you know that person from before? Answer, no. Question, had you ever seen him before? Answer, no. Question, other than seeing him at this after party, the house that you were at, was he at the previous party if you know? Answer, not that I remember. Question, what happened after Matt walked into the bedroom? Answer, he walked in as if he was grabbing something and just closed the door behind him, and I was like covering myself, and I was like, well, like what's going on? And he, Kellan, says, he's just going to watch. And I said, I'm not okay with that. Question, what happened after you told Kellan that you weren't okay with Matt being in the room and watching? Answer, he was like, it's going to be fine. He's just watching. And I told him, no, I'm not okay with that. So I was starting to grab my clothes and put them back on, and I just wanted to get out of the room. Question, were you upset? Answer, yes. Question, what happened, or in terms of Matt, was he still present in the room when you were having this conversation with Kellan, if you remember? Answer, yes. Question, who left the room first? Answer, Matt did. Question, after you told Kellan that you were uncomfortable with it, did he try to continue having sex with you? Answer, he's like, are you going to let me finish? I said no. Question, and what happened after that? Answer, he said fine, and I put my clothes back on and I went downstairs. Question, can you describe his demeanor when you told him that you were not going to let him finish? Answer, he was just like, okay, and like just pushed back, like away from me. Question, who left the room first between you and Mr. Winslow? Answer, I did. Question, do you remember where you went? Answer, I went back downstairs. Question, and where downstairs did you go after this initial upstairs moment with Mr. Winslow? Answer, back into the living room where Nikki was. Question, where was Nikki in relation to the living room? What was she doing? Answer, she was sitting on the couch. Question, do you remember who else was there? Answer, I don't. Question, so then what did you do when you saw Nikki on the couch? Answer, I sat down next to her. Question, can you describe your demeanor at that point? Answer, just like annoyed and wanting to leave. Question, when you say that you were wanting to leave, what did you say, if anything? Answer, I just asked, Nikki, can we go? Question, how did she respond, if you know? Answer, she just looked at me like, why? I was just like, can we just go? Question, how long would you say you had been at this second house this first night? Answer, from the beginning, less than an hour. Question, now when you told Nikki that you wanted to go, what did she do? Answer, she was like, okay, we'll go, we'll leave. Question, did you? Answer, yes. Question, did you say anything else to Mr. Winslow that night? Answer, no. Question, do you remember if he was downstairs when you and Nikki left? Answer, I don't remember. Question, did you say anything to anybody else before you left? Answer, no. Question, did Nikki appear to be confused? Answer, yes. Question, when you left that night, where did you go? Answer, we went back to Nicole's house. Question, did you sleep there? Answer, yes. Question, did you talk to her at all, if you remember, about what happened? Answer, no, I just told her I was not okay, and that was it. Question, now was Miss Edwards, Nikki, was she in the living room when you and Kellan left together to go upstairs? Answer, yes. Question, would she have seen that you and Kellan went upstairs together? Answer, yes. Question, would she have seen when you came back down by yourself? Answer, yes. Question, now after that first night when you met Mr. Winslow, did you see him again? Answer, yes. Question, approximately how much time passed before you saw Mr. Winslow again after this first night? Answer, like 2 weeks. Question, did you have any communication with him or phone calls or text messages at all? Answer, I did not. Question, and if the first night was in June of 2003, when was the second night, do you recall? Answer, in June as well. Question, do you remember what day of the week it was? Answer, a Friday. Question, do you recall the specific date? Answer, I want to say the 20th. Question, and in terms of when that happened, did you actually speak with the district attorney's investigators at your home in North Carolina last July? Answer, yes. Question, and when we were sitting down and discussing the time frames, did you use a calendar to refresh your recollection of when you first met him and when the second interaction you had with him was? Answer, yes. Question, now how is that you arrived at the date of June 20th based on your best recollection? Oh, sorry. Now, is that how you arrived at the date of June 20th based on your best recollection? Answer, yes. Now, the second night, had you talked to anybody about what happened with Mr. Winslow the first night? Answer, no. Question, did you have any interaction with him at all? Answer, no. Question, where were you when you saw him on June 20th, 2003? Answer, we were at a graduation party in Scripps Ranch. Question, was it a similar situation to the first time you had met him? Answer, yes. Question, do you remember, was it at the same house or a different one? Answer, a different home. Question, how was it that you had come to know that there was going to be a party at this home on June 20th? Answer, a lot of us teenagers would hang out at Jack in the Box in Mira Mesa and kind of like wait around until somebody got a phone call to where they would hear a party was or who could go to certain parties. And that's where we found out about this party in Scripps. Question. When you were at Jack in the Box and you were waiting to hear where a party might be, who was there with you if you remember? Answer. Me and Nicole. Question. Were you and Nicole typically a pair? You would be going out together? Answer. Yes. Question. When you were at Jack in the Box, did you catch word that there was a party? Answer. She did, yes. Question. So what did you do? Answer. We got into her car and drove to whatever directions that was given to her. Question. Did other people at the Jack in the Box also go? Answer. Yes. Question. This party that you were at on June 20th, how many people would you say were there? Answer. About 20. At least 20. Question. That night when you got to this party, were you drinking any alcohol? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you remember what you were drinking first of all? Answer. I was drinking beer. Question. Do you remember what type of beer? Answer. No. Question. Where did you get the beer? Answer. There was a keg at the home. Question. Do you remember how many beers that you would have drank while you were at this house in Scripps Ranch? Answer. I want to say like 2 or 3. Can I ask you first how tall you were maybe in June of 2003? Answer. 5'2". Question. And how much did you weigh when you were 17 back in 2003? Answer. 92 pounds. Question. After having those 3 beers, did you start to feel the effects of alcohol at all? Answer. Not like instantly as if I were taking a shot or anything, but like gradually I was feeling buzzed. Question. How much time would you say you spent at this house party in Scripps Ranch when you first got there? Answer. It was less than an hour. Question. Do you recall whether or not you saw any mutual friends of yours and Kellan's that night? Answer. We saw Chris. Question. And was Chris actually at the party? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you ever see Kellan that night? Answer. Yes. Question. Where was he? Answer. With Chris. Question. Was this the same Chris who had been there 2 weeks prior? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, how was it? If you know, how was it that Nikki knew Chris, if at all? Answer. I'm sorry? Question. Did you know if Nikki knew Chris? Answer. She did know Chris. Question. Do you know how she knew Chris? Answer. She knew Chris through Meljohn. Question. And Meljohn would be the person that she was talking to or seeing at the time? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, was Meljohn there the second night? Answer. No. Question. And what happened when you saw Kellan at this party? Answer. Well, as we were leaving, they had come up and saw us, so we waved them down. Question. When you say we were leaving, who are you referring to? Answer. Me and Nicole. Question. And when you and Nicole were leaving this party, who was it that you saw that you waved down? Answer. We saw Chris. Question. And was he with Mr. Winslow? Answer. He was with Mr. Winslow. Question. Tell us what happened after you waved at Mr. Winslow. Answer. So we waved at Chris. Chris had told Kellan and their friend Matt to come. They walked towards us and asked us what was going on. Question. And can you just tell us what plans you guys made once you had that initial conversation? Answer. So we were leaving because there were police. We were told that there were police showing up to the party to shut it down. Question. Is that something that would happen on occasion when you were in high school? Answer. Yes. Question. Where were you planning to go when you and Nicole were leaving? Answer. We weren't sure yet. Question. When you saw this group of guys, including Mr. Winslow, did you make any plans to go to another location? Answer. We asked each other where we were thinking of going but weren't sure, but we knew we needed to leave, so we said let's meet at a gas station. Question. Did you do that? Answer. Yes. Question. How did you get to the gas station? Answer. Me and Nikki and Chris got into her Ford Explorer. Question. And do you remember where you were sitting in relation in that Ford Explorer? Answer. The front seat, the passenger front seat. Question. And who drove? Answer. Nicole. Question. And you said you had 3 beers. Did you have any other alcohol prior to leaving that party? Answer. I did not. Question. What happened after you and Chris and Nikki got into her Ford Explorer? Answer. We drove to a gas station. Question. Where were Matt and Kellen, if you know? Answer. In a car following us or a vehicle following us. Question. Do you remember what type of car it was that they were in? Answer. They were in a SUV. Question. What color was it? Answer. A black SUV. Question. And do you remember who was driving it? Answer. I believe Kellan was. Question. Where did you go? Answer. We went to a Shell gas station. Question. What did you do once you got to the gas station? Answer. We got out. Nikki was fueling her vehicle and Kellan was fueling his. Me, Chris, and Matt were going back and forth. We were like parked next to each other, so we kind of, we were going back and forth and just chit-chatting with one another, like, hey, have you heard anything? Do you know where we could go next? Things like that. Question. Fair to say that this was a second staging area trying to figure out a new party to go to? Answer, yes. Question, just like at the Jack in the Box? Answer, correct. Question. When you were sitting there and you were chit-chatting, did you talk to Mr. Winslow at all about, where he went to school or anything like that? Answer, no. Question. And if we're 2 weeks removed from when you had first met him and had that interaction in the bedroom upstairs, were you being flirtatious with him at all on this night? Answer, no. Question. Was he being flirtatious with you at all? Answer, no. Question. Can you tell us what happened once you were at the gas station and trying to figure out where to go next? Answer. So Kellan stated that they knew of a house party and we said, okay, well, let's just go. Chris then received a phone call from his girlfriend Joanna and she was getting into a fight at another party and wanted to go there to make sure that she was okay. Question. So what happened when Chris had received this phone call and was going to a different location from where Kellan had suggested you go? Answer. Chris asked Nikki or Nicole if we could go there and Nicole said yeah. Question. What did you do? Answer. I was talking with Kellan and Matt and everybody pretty much. All of us were standing there and I said, I'm going to hop in with them and just meet you guys at the party, at the new house party that Kellan was speaking of. Question. Did you think that Nikki and Chris were going to actually meet you back at that next house party that Kellan had suggested? Answer. Yes. Question. After they went to go see what was happening with Joanna? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you ride with Mr. Winslow in his vehicle? Answer. I did. Question. And you mentioned that that was a black SUV of some sort. Do you recall what specific type of vehicle it was? Answer. I don't remember. Mr. Owens. I'll show you what's been marked for identification as Court's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize this photograph? Answer, I do. Question, can you tell us what that's a photograph of? Answer, that is a picture of me and Kellan in the vehicle he was driving that night. Question, do you remember who took this picture? Answer, Nicole. Question, when you were in high school, would you and Nicole take pictures regularly of your nights out? Answer, yes. The court, is that a yes? The witness, yes. So Ms. Doe, did you in fact keep this picture afterwards? Answer, I did. Question, do you remember what time in the evening or when in the evening you took it? Answer, at the gas station. I don't remember the time that it was. Question, and that picture of Mr. Winslow, was he seated in the vehicle that you rode in that night? Answer, yes. Question, what type of camera was this picture taken on? Answer, one of those turn cameras, so it's one of those disposable cameras. Question, and if Nicole took the picture, was it your camera or hers if you remember? Answer, it was mine. Question, did you develop the photos? Answer, I did. Question, why is it that you kept this picture? To remind myself that anything's possible, that somebody can harm you thinking that there may have been a misunderstanding. Question, at the time that this picture was taken, did you feel like you were safe with Mr. Winslow? Answer, I did. Question, can you tell us what happened after you got into his car and left the gas station? Answer, we drove, I don't know exactly where. I just know it was in the Scripps area. We drove to a townhome. Question, and when you got to this townhome, do you remember how many people were there, if any? Answer, there wasn't anybody there. Question, when you say we drove from the gas station to the townhome, who was in the vehicle if you remember? Answer, me, Kellan, and Matt. Question, and who drove? Answer, Kellan. Question, where did you sit? Answer, the front seat, the front passenger seat. Question, is it fair to say Matt was in the back seat? Answer, yes. Question, can you tell us what happened when you first got to this townhome? Answer, I don't remember walking into the home. I do remember being in the bathroom, washing my hands, and trying to sober up. Question, were you feeling the effects of the alcohol that you had drank? Answer, yes. Question, do you recall drinking anything other than the 3 beers you had at the first party you were at? Answer, no. Question, did you have anything to drink during the car ride from the gas station to this townhome? Answer, no. Question, do you remember if Matt or Kellan were drinking anything in the car ride to the townhome? Answer, no. Question, were they, or do you not remember? Answer, I don't remember. Question, now in terms of what you recall happening when you were at the townhome, why did you go to the restroom? Answer, because I felt the need to put some water on my face, drink some water, use the restroom, kind of get it together because I was feeling the effects of the beer. Question, did you feel drunk at that point? Answer, yes. Question, now once you had gotten to the townhome, other than Matt and Kellan, did you see anybody else? Answer, no. Question, after being in the bathroom, or let me ask you, when you were in the bathroom, what happened? Answer, Kellan knocked on the door and told me to hurry up. Question, what did you do when you heard him knock on the door and say, hurry up? Answer, I finished washing my hands and opened the door. Question, where did you go? Answer, to the couch. I don't remember walking to the couch. I just remember sitting on the couch. Question, where were Matt and Kellan if you know? Answer, in the kitchen. Question, and do you actually recall what they were doing in the kitchen? Answer, no. Question, what do you remember happening when you were sitting on the couch? Answer, I just remember looking at the fabric, I just remember looking at the color of the couch. Question, what happened after you were looking at the fabric on the couch? Answer, I opened my eyes and my face was being pushed into Matt's groin area. Question, prior to that memory of opening your eyes, do you know what happened while you were on the couch in the downstairs area of the townhome? Answer, no. Question, do you know if you fell asleep? Answer, no. Question, were you conscious between when you were on the couch to when you felt yourself being pushed into Matt's groin area? Answer, no. Question, do you know how you got from the couch to the place where your face was being pushed in Matt's groin area? Answer, no. Question, where were you when you woke up to that or when you came to? Answer, it was in a bedroom on a bed. Question, do you remember if that was upstairs or downstairs? Answer, I don't know. I don't remember. Question, do you know how you got from the couch to the bedroom being on a bed? Answer, no. Question, when you say that your face was being pushed into Matt's groin area, who was pushing you? Answer, Kellan. Question, how was Mr. Winslow pushing you into Matt's groin area? Answer, from behind. Question, do you remember what part of his body he was using to push your face into Matt's area? Answer, his hand. Question, where was he pushing you with his hand? Answer, his hand was on the back of my head. Mr. Owens, Your Honor, for the record, she's taking her right hand and placing it on the back of her head with an open palm pressing downward. The court. The record will so reflect. Question. Now, what was Kellan doing at the time he was pressing your head towards Matt's groin area? Answer. He was penetrating me from behind. Question. Was he having sex with you? Answer. Yes. Question. Was he having sex with you at the time that you regained consciousness? Answer. Yes. Question. And I'm sorry to ask you, but how was it that he was having sex with you? Where? Answer. He was... I'm sorry, what do you... Question. What part of his body was penetrating what part of your body? Answer. His penis was penetrating my vagina. Question. When you were on the bed, you mentioned that he was doing this from behind, is that right? Answer. Yes. Question. Was Matt lying on the bed? Answer. Yes. Question. When you say that Kellan was having sex with you from behind and pushing your head towards Matt's groin, was Matt's penis exposed? Answer. Yes. Question. Did he have his pants off? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you have any memory prior to waking up to this happening? Answer. No. Question. What was Matt doing? Answer. Matt was just laying there with his legs open. Question. Were you facing him? Answer. Yes. Question. What was Kellan saying, if anything, at that point? Answer. I don't remember. I can't. The only thing is just my view. I don't hear anything. Question. What did you do when you regained consciousness and you felt Mr. Winslow doing this to you? Answer. Telling him to stop. Question. Did you actually say that out loud? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you remember what you said when you were telling him to stop? Answer. Just stop. Just stop. Question. Did you become upset? Answer. Yes. Question. Were you crying, if you know? Answer. Yes. Question. Was he being forceful with you? Answer. Yes. Question. How was he holding you, if at all, while he was having sex with you from behind? Answer. He was holding onto my hair, and I'm pushing with both of my hands just to get this guy to stop, and I just keep telling him to stop. The court. The record will reflect that the witness put both of her hands on each side of her body with her palms facing backwards, about even with her waist, and pushing in a backwards motion with both hands. Mr. Owens. Thank you, Your Honor. Question. When you were telling him to stop and pressing your hands against his thighs, were you trying to make him stop having sex with you? Answer. Yes. Question. Did he continue to penetrate you vaginally with his penis from behind? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you remember if he said anything while you were telling him to stop? Answer. No. Question. What did Matt do as you were telling Kellan, Mr. Winslow, to stop and pushing against him? Matt got up and was telling him to just stop, and then Kellan flipped me onto my back. Question. When you say that Kellan flipped you onto his back, how did he do that? Answer. He turned me over. I just know he turns me over. I don't know which way, but I'm now laying on my back on the bed. Question. If you were 5'2" and 92 pounds in June of 2003, was he bigger than you? Answer. Yes. Question. How tall would you say he was? Answer. Like 6 foot or taller. Question. Was he strong? Answer. Yes. Question. Was it easy for him to flip you from facing downwards to being on your back? Yes. After he flipped you onto your back, were you lying on the bed? Answer. Yes. Question. Had you been telling him no during this time? Answer. Yes. Question. After Matt got up and you heard him tell Kellen to stop, is that when Kellen flipped you onto your back? Answer, yes. Question, what happened after he did that? Answer, I kept telling him to stop, and then I turned my head to the left because somebody was there holding a camera. Question, based on your best memory, do you recall seeing somebody hold a camera inside the bedroom when this happened? Answer, when I initially came to, no. Question, when you're saying that you looked to the left when you were lying on your back, do you remember seeing a camera? Answer, yes. Question, do you know if Matt was still in the room? Answer, no. Question, what did Kellen do after he'd put you onto your back? Answer, he kept going, and I just kept saying, stop, just stop. Question, and you're taking both your hands and you've crossed them into an X in front of your chest and you're pushing it outward? Answer, I'm sorry? Question, you're pushing your arms outward, is that right? Answer, yes. Question, did you continue to tell him to stop? Answer, yes. Question, when you say that he kept doing it, what was he doing? Answer, he was still having sex with me. Question, now that he's having sex with you, are you facing each other? Answer, yes. Question, what happened after he continued having sex with you as you were on your back? Answer, he stops. Question, do you know why he stopped? Because Matt. Matt told him to stop. Just stop. Question, after Matt told him to stop, did Kellen finally stop having sex with you? Answer, yes. Question, did he say anything to you when he stopped? Answer, no. Question, what happened after you saw Matt telling Mr. Winslow to stop? Answer, Kellen gets off of me and moves to my right, and then I see somebody else standing behind him that wasn't Matt. Question, did Kellen leave the room? Answer, yes. Question, what happened after Kellen left the room? Answer, Matt started to help me get dressed. Question, after Matt started to help you get dressed, did Kellen come back into the room at all? Answer, he looked, I don't know if he came in fully, but I know he came in back and he says, she's just a stupid bitch, and then closes the door. Question, do you know if he was talking to you or talking to Matt? Answer, I don't know. We took a recess. Question. So, Ms. Doe, you were just telling us that after Kellen had stopped, had left the room, and came back in and made a comment towards you, and Matt began to help you put your clothes back on. Is that right? Answer, yes. Question. After Matt helped you put your clothes on, did you see Kellen again that night? Answer, no. Question. Do you know where he went after saying, she's just a stupid bitch, and leaving? Answer, no. Question. What happened after Matt helped you get your clothes back on? Answer. He helped me get dressed and brought me out to a vehicle and told me he would take me to my friends. Question. At this point in time, had you seen Nikki since you parted ways at the gas station? Answer. No. Question. Had you seen Chris since you parted ways at the gas station? Answer. No. Question. Other than Matt and Kellen, and perhaps the people you remember holding a camera, did you see anybody else in the house that night? Answer. No. Question. Now, after Matt helped you get your clothes on, do you remember leaving the house? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you remember what type of car he drove? Answer. What I remember while sitting in the car was seeing a BMW emblem on the steering wheel. Question. At this point, was Matt helping you? Answer. Yes. Question. Did he say anything to you about what had happened? Answer. He just asked me if I felt like I'd been raped. Question. When he asked you if you felt like you had been raped, do you remember if you responded? Answer. I was just crying hysterically. Question. When you say you were crying hysterically, were you still emotional based on what happened? Answer. Yes. Question. Did he ask you more than once? Answer, yes. Question, how many times would you say he asked you if you had been raped? Answer, 3. Do you ever remember if you said anything back to him? Answer, no. Question, where did you go once Matt was driving you away from this house? Answer, we met up with Nicole and Chris. Question, do you remember where you went when you met up with Nicole and Chris? Answer, no. Question, do you remember how it was that either you or Matt had contacted Nicole and Chris? Answer, no. Question, once you met up with them, were you still alone in the car with Matt? Answer, yes. Question, was there anyone else that met up with you other than Nicole and Chris? Answer, no. Question, tell us what happened once you met up with them. Answer, Matt carried me from Nicole, or from his car, into Nicole's car. Question, and that was Nicole's Ford Explorer? Answer, yes. Question, do you remember where he put you? Answer, in the front passenger seat. Question, is Matt a pretty big guy? Answer, tall guy. Question, was he as big as Kellan? Answer, as tall as Kellan, not as width-wise. Question, now, when Matt and Chris and Nicole met with you at this location, I know you don't recall where it was, but when you met together, do you remember Chris saying anything in that moment? Answer, asking what happened. Question, did you see a conversation between Matt and Chris? Answer, yes. Question, did you see Matt talking and telling Chris what had happened? Answer, not specifically. Question, do you remember what Chris said in response in that moment when they were having that discussion? Answer, this would destroy his career. Question, when you heard that, were you being carried into the car or were you already in the car? Answer, I was already in the car. Question, and when I say the car, we're referring to Nicole's Ford Explorer? Answer, yes. Question, what happened after you heard that exchange, that conversation between Matt and Chris? Answer, they left and Nicole got into her vehicle. Question, where did you and Nicole go? Answer, back to her home. Question, you mentioned that you had been crying hysterically in Matt's car. Can you describe your demeanor when you were with Nicole? Answer, just crying and telling her I told him to stop. Question, did she ask you any questions if you remember? Answer, she asked me what happened and all I could say was, I told him to stop. Question, where did you go with Nicole? Answer, to her home. Question, what did you do once you got there? Answer, I took a shower. Question, when you were in this state afterwards, were you feeling the effects of alcohol still, or were you just upset based on what happened? Just upset with what just happened. Question, do you remember having any further conversation with Nicole that night, other than you telling her that you kept telling him to stop? Answer, no. Question, do you know if Nicole knew who you were referring to when you were saying, I told him I was telling him to stop? Answer, yes. Question, how do you know that? Answer, because she saw me leave with them, so maybe her assumption was that it was with that individual. Question, based on your conversation with her in that moment, that's what you took it to mean, right? Answer, yes. Question, now when you slept over at Nicole's house, do you remember talking to her about what had happened the next day? Answer, no. Question, now going forward from this time, did you call the police in 2003 to report what Mr. Winslow had done? Answer, I did not. Question, why didn't you call the police? Answer, a 17-year-old drinking underage. I had slept with him 2 weeks prior. I didn't think anybody would believe anything I had to say. Question, now other than having met him and knowing him as Kellan, did you know anything about like what he was doing or where he was going to school during that time? Answer, no. Question. When Chris made the comment, "This will ruin his career," did you know what that meant at that point? Answer, like the next couple days I found out who he was, who his father was, and what he was up to. Question. When you say who he was, did you know that he was a college football player? Answer. At the time I didn't, but afterwards I did. Question. Did you know that his father had been a professional football player as well? Answer. At that time when I found out, yes. Question. And you're saying that that's after the sexual assault? Answer. Yes. Question. Did that factor into why you chose not to call the police? Answer. Yes. Question. Why? Answer. Because why would anyone believe some girl that got drunk to who his father is, this, well-known man who's been in the NFL and the Hall of Fame and a pristine, person? Why would his son do something so disgusting? Why would anybody believe me? Question. Other than talking to Nicole about what had happened, did you tell anybody else here in San Diego before moving to Hawaii? Answer. No. Question. Why not? Answer. Because I think nobody would have believed me. They would have, in your mind, you kind of like, did you allow yourself to go in that situation? Question. Is that how you felt? Answer. Yes. Question. And then going forward, did you in fact move to Hawaii just a few weeks later? Answer. Yes. Question. Do you remember what the time of month in July of 2003 that you moved away? Answer. I know it was after 4th of July. Question. When you had relocated to Hawaii, did you maintain any contact with any of your friends in San Diego? Answer. Nicole. Question. How is it that you stayed in contact with Nicole? Answer. Through phone calls, text messages. Question. As you began to grow older, did your relationship with Nicole, as friends from high school, did that actually fade away a little bit? Answer. Yes. Question. Once you grew older and you met your husband, fair to say that you didn't keep in close contact with her? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, in terms of people that you've spoken to about what had happened, did you ever tell anyone other than Nicole from then until June of 2018 about what had happened? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you speak to a person by the name of Brandon Guillermo about what had happened? Answer. Yes. Question. Who is Brandon Guillermo? Answer. An ex-boyfriend of mine. Question. When was it that you were in a relationship with Brandon Guillermo? Answer. We started dating at the end of 2003, the summer of 2003. Question. At this point in time, were you still 17 years old, or had you turned 18? Answer. I had turned 18. Question. Did you meet him in Hawaii when you were living there? Answer. Yes. Question. Can you just tell us about that relationship and how it led to you talking to him about what happened? Answer. We eventually moved in with one another, and he woke me up because I was screaming and crying, because I was having flashbacks of what happened between myself and Kellan and the individuals. Multiple times he's had to shake me to wake me up. Question. Now, if you started this relationship with him at the end of 2003, do you recall specifically when it was that you had moved in with him and you had these flashbacks where he would have to wake you up? Answer. I'd say like January is when it started. Question. Would that be January of 2004? Answer. Yes. Question. So still within about 7 months of when the event actually happened? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, when you say that you were having flashbacks and he'd wake you up because you were screaming, do you remember what it was that you told him about what had happened? Answer. I just explained to him that somebody had assaulted me back home. Question. Do you know if you used that word assaulted or another word to describe it? Answer. Somebody raped me. Question. Do you remember what word you said? Answer. Rape. Question. Do you remember if you told him who had done that? Answer. I don't remember saying his name. Question. You don't remember? Answer. I don't remember. Question. Now, other than that one time when he had spoken to you, other than that one time when he had spoken up while you were having flashbacks while asleep, did you have any other conversations with him about what happened to you with Mr. Winslow? Answer, no. Question, is that your best memory? Answer, yeah. Question, other than speaking with Mr. Guillermo about what had happened, did you tell anyone else about what Mr. Winslow had done to you? Answer, my husband. Question, when was it that you first met your husband? Answer, in 2011. Question, in terms of the time when you spoke to him about what happened, can you tell us that context? Answer, I'm sorry? Question, when was it, as you best recall, when you told your husband about what Mr. Winslow had done to you? Answer, it was in 2012. Question, if you met him in 2011, were you in a pretty serious relationship at the time of 2012? Answer, yes. Question, did you feel like you could confide in him? Answer, yes. Question, can you tell us how it was that this conversation came up? Answer, just, like being in a new relationship, people look at things sexually, want to know what their partners like, dislike. A conversation had come up. Have you ever thought about partners or groups or anything like that? And I freaked out and told him, no. He's like, it was just a question. It's not something I'm into. It's just something, we want to get to know one another. And I told him no, and I freaked out. And he's like, what's the deal? What's your problem? And that's when I started crying, and I told him what had happened in 2003. Question. Do you remember when you told your husband about what had happened in 2003? What words you used to describe what had happened? Answer. I explained to him that, not like, I don't know, how do I say this? That I was taken advantage of while I was under the influence. That somebody penetrated me or had sex with me without my acknowledgement or without my consent, or allowed somebody to videotape me because that is not something that I want in my life, or find pleasurable, or I think is okay. Question. Do you remember if you told him who had done that to you? Answer. I want to say I said his name, but I don't fully remember. Question. Now going forward from when you had that conversation with your husband, did he ask you any follow-up questions, or did you have any additional conversations other than that one time? Answer, no. Question. Now I want to talk to you about what it was that led you to report this incident to the Sheriff's Department. In June of 2018, other than speaking to your husband and your boyfriend about what had happened, had you disclosed this to anyone else? Answer, no. Question. Did you ever report it to law enforcement between 2003 and June of 2018? Answer, no. Question. In June of 2018, did you receive some information from the news about a pending criminal prosecution against Mr. Kellen Winslow? Answer, yes. Question. How was it that you came across that information? Answer. Through Snapchat. You could see there's like different snaps through people you follow on Instagram or Facebook. I follow the San Diego Tribune on Snapchat, so all of a sudden I see his face and I freak. I click on it and I'm just like, no way. I start crying, I start thinking about what happened, and that's how I knew or saw anything about Kellan. Question. When you say you came across this on Snapchat, was it a news article that was covering the fact that Mr. Winslow had been arraigned on criminal charges involving sexual assault? Answer, yes. Question. Did you read that Union Tribune article that had been published after his arraignment on June 15th of 2018? Answer, yes. Question. Do you remember when specifically you saw the article in relation to June 15th of 2018? Answer, I don't remember the specific date. Question. You mentioned that you freaked. Did you become emotional after seeing that article? Answer, yes. Question. Did you think back to what had happened to you? Answer, yes. Question. Were you still living in North Carolina with your husband and two children? Answer, yes. Question. When that happened and you saw that article, did you talk to anybody about it? Answer, Nicole. Question. Is that Nicole Edwards? Answer, yes. Question. So if your relationship with Nicole had faded and you weren't in as frequent of contact with her, how did you reach out to Nicole? Answer, through Instagram Messenger. Question. And what did you do when you reached out to Nicole? Answer, I had taken a screenshot of the article and sent it to her. Question. When you sent her a screenshot of the article, why did you do that? Answer, because I know she knew. Question. What do you mean by that? Answer, I knew she would know how I felt. Question. And when you reached out to her via Instagram Messenger, did you tell her how you were feeling in that moment? Answer, yes. Question. Was this the first time that you had spoken about it other than the times that you've already mentioned with Mr. Guillermo and your husband? Answer, yes. Question. Why was it that you felt the need to reach out to Nicole and send her that article and tell her how you were feeling? Answer. Because she's my person. Even though you're so far from one another, may not have talked in years, may not have seen your kids, she's still that person that's going to know how you felt or saw how you felt. Question. Now, when you sent her that article, did she respond to you? Answer, she did. Question. Other than telling her how you felt, did she tell you that she remembered? Answer, yes. Question. Did you in fact after you spoke to her about it, did you tell her about how this was impacting you in that moment after seeing that he had been arraigned on sexual assault charges? Answer, yes. Question. Were you still emotional thinking about what had happened to you? Answer, yes. Question. Do you need a moment? Answer, no, I'm okay. Question. When you were feeling that way and you were communicating with her on Instagram Messenger, did you talk to her about why you never said anything? Yes. Answer, yes. Question. Did that factor into how you were feeling in that moment that ultimately led to you reporting this to law enforcement? Answer, yes. Question. And when you were talking to her, was she responding to you about what she recalled? Answer, not fully. She just said she wished we would have said something at the time. Question. Now, other than speaking to Nicole on this Instagram messaging conversation, did you talk to your husband about how you were feeling after seeing the news? Answer, I did. Question. And can you just describe how that conversation went? Answer, same thing. Told him I was freaking out. I can't believe this is happening. Just feeling completely overwhelmed, crying. And his reply back to me was like, you need to tell your story. Question. When your husband began to encourage you to come forward, did Nicole also encourage you to come forward? Answer, yes. Question. Other than those two, did you talk to anybody about what had happened? Answer, no. Question. And this is in the time frame of June 2018? Answer, correct. Question. Did you, in fact, make a decision to contact the Sheriff's Department in San Diego? Answer, yes. Question. How is it that you did that? Answer. At the end of the article, it just says to contact, and I called the phone number that was listed. Question. Do you recall speaking with a sergeant by the name of James Emic after making initial contact with the Sheriff's Department? Answer, yes. Question. Do you remember when that was in relation to when you saw the article? Answer, it was like a couple days after. Question. And is that couple day time period, was that when you had the Instagram conversation with Nicole and then also the conversation with your husband? Answer, yes. Question. What was it about your husband's and Nicole's support that led you to call the Sheriff's Department? Answer. It actually wasn't even them, too. It was my kids. Question. What was it about your children that caused you to call the Sheriff's Department? Answer. I look at two innocent girls and never would want them to ever feel like they didn't have a voice, that it was not okay. and that it's okay to say no and to be able to speak up and tell their truths. Question. Now, when you contacted the sheriff's department and had this conversation with Sergeant Emic, that was over the phone? Answer. Yes. Question. How long would you say it lasted? Answer. 20 minutes. Question. And when you were talking to him about what happened, were you attempting to describe as best you could what led up to what happened during the sexual assault? Answer. I tried to, but he also stated that I should not say specifics because it's over the phone. Question. Did he inform you that he would arrange for a follow-up interview? Answer. Yes. Question. Did he give you any details about how that would happen? Answer. He said that it would either be him or yourself would have contacted me. Question. And when you're saying yourself, are you referring to me being a member of the district attorney's office? Answer. Yes. Question. And were you in fact interviewed at your home on July 6th of 2018? Answer. Yes. Question. And was that with me and District Attorney Investigator Chris Phelan and District Attorney Investigator Kathy Pierce? Answer. Yes. Question. And how long would you say we sat down together to talk about what happened? Answer. A few hours. Question. Was that interview recorded? Answer. Yes. Question. I'm going to show you a series of exhibits that have been marked Courts Exhibits 154, 155, 156, and 157. Beginning with the first, do you recognize what those are? Answer. Yes. Question. What are they? Answer. These are the messages between myself and Nicole. Question. And when you say the messages, are these the actual Instagram Messenger communications that you sent to her after seeing the news article? Answer. Yes. Question. Now, did that conversation begin on June 18th of 2018? Answer. Yes. Question. And did that begin with a text message from you being sent to her with a link to the news article that you were referring to in your testimony? Answer. Yes. Question. Showing you first Courts 154 for identification. Looking to the left, did you in fact take screenshots of that messenger conversation where you then provided them to the district attorney's office to show the conversation you had with Nicole Edwards? Answer. Yes. Question. Are these those screenshots, at least the first two? Answer. Yes. Question. Looking at the left, do you see the date of June 18th, 2018? Answer. Yes. Question. And then do you see the link to the article which states, complaint against Kellen Winslow II alleges 5 incidents including rape, and then it cuts off? Answer. Yes. Question. Did it have a photograph associated with that web page or that article? Answer. Yes. Question. And did you recognize that as being Kellen Winslow? Answer. Yes. Question. Is this the article that you saw from the Union Tribune that caused you to be emotional? Answer. Yes. Question. What was it that you said to Nicole Edwards when you sent her that text message and that link? Answer. Like it says here, I am just saying he deserves, sorry, it's obviously weird, thing. I'm not sure what you remember, but because of him, I've gone through a lot of shit. Question. Did you continue to send her messages about how you were feeling in that moment? Answer. Yes. Question. What did you say? Answer. I never said anything because I thought it was always my fault, but I remember screaming no, and I just can't, Nikki. This is truly bringing me to tears and freaking me out. Question. How did Ms. Edwards respond to you? Answer. I do remember. Hated that we never said anything. I'm so glad that they finally got him. Question. What did you say to her after Nikki responded to you in that way? Answer. You have no idea the feelings I'm having right now. Question. And what did she say? Answer. I am so sorry. Question. What did you say back to her? Answer. Thanks, Nikki. I just needed to share this with you. It just has been something that has messed me up for so long. Question. And how did she respond? The court. By the way, if there's any mention of your name in these, don't state your name. Mr. Owens. Thank you, Your Honor. Question. Now moving ahead to Court's Exhibit 155, which contains the entirety of the text message beginning at the top left. What was your response to Nikki after she said that? Answer. That's actually Nicole's response, the top left. Question. Now in terms of the communication that you then had with Miss Edwards, did you continue to describe how you were feeling in that moment? Answer. Yes. Question. And were there things that Miss Edwards was saying back to you that prompted further disclosure about how you were feeling? Answer. Yes. Question. Now in terms of that conversation, did that factor into why it was that you then came forward to law enforcement? Answer. Yes. Question. Did she say such things to you as, you need to tell your story? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you then tell her certain things in response to what she was telling you about why you were willing to come forward and talk to the police? Answer. Yes. Question. What was it that you told her about why you were willing to come forward and talk to the police? Do you recall specifically? Question. Can you ask the question again? Question. Would it refresh your recollection to refer to that text message conversation regarding that specific question of what you told her that led to why you wanted to come forward? Yes. And speak to the police? Sorry. Question. Just read that to yourself, not out loud, and let me know if that's refreshed your recollection. Answer. Yes. Question. What was it that you recall telling Ms. Edwards about why it is that you were going to come forward to the police? Answer. Because I need closure. Question. Did you tell her that this was still affecting you? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you tell her that your husband was encouraging you? Answer. Yes. Question. How did she respond to you in that moment when you told her that you were going to come forward? Answer. She said, I agree and I support you. Mr. Owens. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, why don't we go ahead and take a break right now? Do you need a break, Stephanie?
That would be great.
I would think so. Okay. Why don't we take a 10-minute break? You want to take a break outside or in a jury room? Outside? Okay, so we'll head outside. We'll be in recess for 10 minutes. Remember the admonition. We'll see you back here in 10 minutes.
You came to court and gave your testimony. Answer, yes. Question, you recall that? And you gave an interview to the police on the phone, right? Answer, correct. Question, and then you came and spoke to the prosecutors, correct? Answer, they came to me. Question, they came to you? Okay. But you gave an interview to the prosecutor and his investigators, correct? Answer, yes. Question, now since the prelim, you understood that you gave well, according to Officer Emic, Sergeant Emic, you gave a completely different version of events to him than you did to the investigator for the district attorney's office. You understand that, right? Answer, I did give a statement. Question, and it was different. The statement you gave to, well, let me ask you this. You told us during the direct examination that, and this is your testimony, that Officer Emic told you not to be specific in details over the phone? Answer, correct. Question, and you recall that? Answer, correct. Question, and you didn't testify to that at the prelim. You remember that? Answer, correct. Question, all right, so this is something for the first time you're saying that this officer told you not to be specific? Answer, correct. Question, so let me get this right. You call the number on the hotline for potential victims in a case involving Kellen Winslow, correct? Answer, correct. Question, and it's specifically for victims of sex allegations, correct? Answer, yes. Question, and then you call the number and they channel you to Officer Emic or Detective Emic, Sergeant Emic. Answer, correct. Question, right? Answer, yes. Question, and he's taking your report of a sexual offense, correct? Answer, yes. Question, but he tells you not to be specific on the details? Answer, he explains to me that because of the individual that I should not be specific until I speak to Mr. Dan Owens. Question, okay, so is it your testimony? Just let me ask you this. Did you tell Sheriff Emic that you were picked up in a dark-colored SUV driven by Kellen Winslow? Answer, we met in one of those vehicles, yes. Question, I'm asking you, did you say you were picked up by Kellen Winslow in a dark-colored SUV? Answer, no. Question, all right. Did you tell him that during the ride you were provided alcohol by Kellen Winslow and that you blacked out? Answer, no. Question, okay, listen to my statement. During the ride, you were provided alcohol by Kellen Winslow and then you blacked out. Did you tell the sergeant that? Answer, I did not. Question, did you tell the sergeant that when you awoke you were in an extremely groggy state? Did you tell him that? Answer, no. Question, and that you recall several males groping your breasts? Answer, no. Question, and that they were digitally penetrating you? Answer, no. Question, you don't recall that? Answer, no, sir. Question, and that they were touching other parts of your body? Answer, no. Question, you didn't say that to the officer? Answer, I did not. Question, okay. Shortly after regaining consciousness, did you tell him this? That after regaining consciousness, you recalled one of the males leaving the room and Kellen Winslow then having non-consensual vaginal intercourse with you? Answer, no. Question, did you tell him that you had seen the news coverage and you wanted to help stop future assaults? Answer, correct. Question, you told him that, right? And did you tell him that you were very interested in supporting the accusers of this case? Answer, not very interested, but I'm here to support as well. Question, so the statement that you were very interested in supporting the accusers is not a statement that you made? Answer, no. Question, all right, so let me backtrack a little bit. So when you say you didn't make the statements that you were picked up by Kellen Winslow in a dark-colored SUV, is that correct? Correct. Question, the night that you that you were assaulted, is it true that you were picked up in a dark-colored SUV driven by Kellen Winslow? Answer, I don't know what you mean by picked up. Like, did he show up to my home to pick me up? Is that? Question, I'm asking whether you recall ever being picked up by him, either at your home or at a location other than you getting into the vehicle on your own. Answer, no. Question, okay, so that didn't occur? Answer, no. Question, all right, you were never provided alcohol by Kellen Winslow. Is that true or false? Answer, I was not provided. Question, okay, so it's true you were not provided alcohol? Answer, it's true I was not provided alcohol. Question, and so that we're clear, on the night of your assault, right, you said you had 2 or 3 beers. Answer, correct. Question, right, at most you had 3? Answer, correct. Question, could have been 2? Answer, most would be 3. Question, at most it would be 3, but you said 2 or 3. Answer, yes. Question, so it could have been 2, right? Answer, correct. Question, and nobody gave you anything to drink, right? Answer, no. Question, you had a cup with you, which was that you brought on your own accord to the party, right? Answer, yes. Question, and you poured the alcohol, or you watched the alcohol being poured into your drink from a keg? Answer, yes. Question, and you drank from the keg? Answer, yes. Question, in fact, you drank all of your alcohol before you even had contact with Mr. Winslow? Answer, correct. Question, Mr. Winslow never gave you any drinks at all? Answer, no. Question, Mr. Winslow never gave you any food? Answer, no. Question, Mr. Winslow never gave you any drugs? Answer, no. Question, never gave you any marijuana? Answer, no. Question, never gave you any water to drink? Answer, no. Question, so there's nothing that Mr. Winslow did that could have input into your body at all? Answer, no. Question, and for that matter, Matt, right? He didn't give you anything either? Answer, no. Question, no food. Is that a yes? Answer, no, nobody gave me anything. Question, so the only thing that went into your body that evening was what you put into your own body on your own accord? Answer, correct. Question, so you didn't tell on June 18th when you called the sheriff, you didn't tell him that anything about anybody videotaping you, right? Answer, I explained to them. That's what I said in my statement, and that's exactly what I told Mr. Dan Owens. Question, okay. So it's your memory now that you told Sergeant Emic on the phone that you were being videotaped? Answer, no, I know what I said to the sergeant. Okay, answer, you're asking me those questions. I did not say any of those things. Question, okay, you didn't tell him that you were being videotaped? Answer, I did tell him that I was being videotaped. Question, okay, that's what I'm asking. Answer, yeah. Question, so when you called him on the phone, you told him you were being videotaped? Answer, yes. Question, and did you tell him that you had a previous relationship with Mr. Winslow? Answer, I did not get that far, no. Question, so you just told him about that night that had happened? Answer, correct. Question, and you said that you were in I guess a condominium, and then you passed out and you woke up to being penetrated from behind? Answer, I explained to him that we were in a townhouse and that yes, that's what happened. Question, okay, because you said that you spoke to him for about 20 minutes. That's what you said on direct. Answer, correct. Question, and you said that in your preliminary hearing testimony also a few months back. Answer, correct. Question, do you remember that? So 20 minutes is a period of time, you would agree? Answer, right. Question, it's enough for you to give certain details to this officer? Answer, correct. Question, I mean, because if he's telling you not to be specific, it would be a pretty short conversation, wouldn't you agree? Answer, correct. Question, and so if you gave at least as much Did you give the detail that you've given here today? Answer, no. Question to the officer. But you told him the basics. You told that officer that you met with Kellen Winslow, you went to a location, and that you had only had 2 or 3 beers. You told him that? Answer, yes. Question. And then you told him, the next thing you know, you passed out and you wake up to being penetrated by Mr. Winslow? Answer, yes. Question. And then you told him that he was shoving your face into his friend's crotch area? Answer, I did not say that over the question. Okay. You didn't tell him that? Answer, I did not say that over the phone. Question, but you definitely told him you blacked out, right? Answer, I did not say that I blacked out. I just said that I remember going to a bathroom and waking and sitting on a couch and waking up to what was happening. I didn't say exactly what was happening. I just said what was happening. Question, okay, but in relating that information to Sergeant Emic, you're basically saying that you blacked out. I mean, because, answer, I didn't use that specific word though. Question, that was your intent? Answer, okay. Question, I mean, well, I'm saying there's a period of time where you don't remember anything, right? Answer, correct. Question, and there's a period of time before that where you remember everything. Answer, yes. Question, after where you remember everything. Answer, okay. Question, so the period in between, you're letting this officer know that you blacked out. Answer, okay. Question, I'm asking you. Answer, yes. Question, that was your intent? Answer, yes. Question, the phone call was on June 18th of 2018. When in relation to this set of text messages that you had, when was that? Answer, I'm sorry? Question, if the phone call was June 18th, when were the text messages to Nikki? Question, they started on June 18th. Question, okay, so the same day you called the sheriff? Answer, correct. Question, all right, and when did you read the articles about Mr. Winslow? Answer, 2 days prior. Question, you read, answer, 2 days, a day prior. Question, 2 days prior? So you read a Union Tribune article. Answer, yes. Question, about the arraignment? Answer, correct. Question, but you also read a Sports Illustrated article, didn't you? Answer, yes. Question, and in that Sports Illustrated article, there was some opinion by somebody writing there that Mr. Winslow might use some type of CTE or concussion defense. Do you recall that? Answer, yes. Question, and that upset you? Answer, yes. Question, and then you told your friend Nikki, in fact, that they're going to try to use this defense about CTE or concussion. Do you remember that? Answer, yes. Question, and then he goes, that's not, you said something to the effect of, that's a bunch of crap because, you know, he did this to me back in 2003. Do you recall that? Answer, yes. Question, it was upsetting to you that, you know, this professional football player might use some type of mental defense to get off of the charges. Is that what you were thinking? Answer, that article is what was saying. Question, I know, but that's, answer, yes. Question, that's what you were thinking because of the article, right? Answer, correct. Question, so you were telling Nikki that also, right? Answer, yes. Question, and Nikki told you she's 1,000,000% behind you? Answer, yes. Question, something to that effect? And you recall Nikki telling you also that you've got to take this guy down. Do you remember that? Answer, I don't see where she says take him down. Question, you don't recall that? Okay. So so immediately, is it immediately after you text you decide to call, or do you talk to your husband in between? Answer, I text my husband in between. Question, and then that's when you relayed the information about the assault initially to Sergeant Emic, Answer, correct. Question. So it's your memory that there were two. You had two contacts with Mr. Winslow. One was about 2 weeks prior to your assault, right? Answer, yes. Question. And the 2 week prior, you met up with Mr. Winslow. You were physically attracted to him, I take it. Answer, yes. Question. You guys are both young. You're teenagers, right? Answer, right. Question. He was an attractive teenager at the time? Answer, yes. Question. He was in college, right? You at least knew that. Answer, no. Question. You didn't know anything about Mr. Winslow at all? Answer, I did not. Question. You didn't know that he was a big-time college football player? I did not. Question. You knew that, okay. Big-time college football player at University of Miami? Answer, no. Question. None of your friends told you? Answer, no. Question. Nobody at the party said, hey, there's Kellen Winslow? Answer, no. Question. So, you and your friend Nikki didn't know? Answer, she didn't say anything to me if she did. Question. So you are there with, is it Chris Rios? Is it Chris Resto? Answer, I remember it as Rios, but... Question, could it be Resto? Answer, if so. Question, he was a friend of Matt's and Kellan's? Answer, yes. Question, and Nikki knew him? Answer, yes. Question, through this sort of weird thing, right? So you guys meet up like high school students, and I mean young kids. You're hanging out in parking lots waiting for the next party to go to, basically, right? Answer, yes. Question, and on this first evening, you didn't have any alcohol at all? Answer, I did not. Question, okay, so you go back to this apartment or condominium. Is it a house or a condo? Answer, I'm sorry, which event are you speaking of? Question, the first one. Answer, the first time? Question, yes. Answer, it was a house that we went to. Answer. Question, a house, okay. And what you said on direct is, you don't know how it happened, but you were upstairs with Mr. Winslow. Answer, I said that I walked upstairs with him. Question, right. You didn't know how, you said you don't know. Answer, I don't know what the initial question was, like, hey, do you want to go upstairs or anything? I don't remember that part. Question, right, but it's fair for me to say that you were basically a teenager. You were attracted to Mr. Winslow. You went willingly upstairs with him, and, you were going to engage in some type of foreplay, to say the least, right? Answer, yes. Question, okay, and the foreplay would then lead to sex? Answer, yes. Question, and so Mr. Winslow did not force you to go upstairs? Answer, no. Question, Mr. Winslow did not threaten you to go upstairs? Answer, no. Question, Mr. Winslow did not say, hey, you should have some of this alcohol or drugs before you go upstairs either, did he? Answer, no. Question, so you go upstairs, you guys, and by the way, before this time you were flirting with him? Answer, yes. Question, I mean, you were making it clear that you were interested in him. Answer, yes. Question, right? You go upstairs and, the foreplay goes to sex, yes? Answer, yes. Question, all right, his buddy Matt comes in, you see the guy. Did you know Matt from before? Answer, no. Question, so you didn't know him by name at the time? Answer, I knew his name was Matt, but no, I never met him prior to this time. Question, okay, so you guys are having sex. This guy comes sort of, you can see him in the background. Matt walks in. Answer, he walks into the room, correct. Question, and you said it looked like he was looking for something? Answer, yes. Question, and then according to your testimony, Kellen said, it's okay, he can watch. Answer, yes. And you told him, no, I'm not cool with that, right? Answer, right. Question. Did Mr. Winslow then say anything to you in response to you saying, I'm not cool with it? Answer. He just said he's going to watch. Question. And once again, you say, I'm not good with it, right? Answer. Correct. And then he says, let me finish? Answer. Yes. And you say, no, 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 this is over with, right? Answer. Yes. Question. And so you pull away and start putting your clothes on? Answer. Yes. Question. So let me ask you this. When you said no and you kind of pushed away, did Mr. Winslow grab you and pull you back to him? Answer. No. Question. Okay, did Mr. Winslow slap you or hit you in any way? Answer. No. Question. Did he threaten you? Did he say, you know, if you don't do anything, I'm going to kill you? Answer. No. Question, right? So you said no and he let go? Answer. Yes. Question, right? And then you walked. He started putting his clothes on, I take it? Answer. I wasn't paying attention to him, just putting my clothes back on. Question. And you felt kind of weird, to say the least. Answer. Yes. Question. You went, so this was upstairs, right? Answer. Yes. You recall that? You walked down the stairs and Nikki's still there? Answer. Yes. Question. So when you walked down the stairs, were you crying? Answer. No. Question. Were you upset? Answer. Yes. Question. So you're upset, yes? Answer. Yes. Question. And your friend Nikki, you guys are pretty tight at this time? Answer. Yes. Question. You think that she's a pretty good judge of your emotion? Answer. Yes. Question. Could she tell, if you know, could she tell you were upset? Answer. I don't know. Question. Did you tell her, hey, I feel pretty stupid, or I want to get out of here? Answer. Yes. Question. Okay, do you remember that? Answer. Yes. Question. So correct me if I'm wrong. You know, there's you coming down the stairs, and you go right down next to Nikki. You sit down on the couch like you said, and you say, hey, you know, we've got to go. Answer. Yes. Question. That's expressing a little bit of concern or upset on your part, wouldn't you agree? Answer. Yes. Question. So you made it clear to her that you were upset? Answer. Yeah. Question. All right, on the ride away from, was Mr. Winslow in the room when you told her you had to go? Answer. I don't remember. Question. Who was in the room with you? Answer. There was other people in there, but it was just me and her sitting on the couch. I wasn't acknowledging anybody else. I just know I was telling Nikki that we should go. Question. Okay, but there could have been other people in the room, and you just don't know? Answer. Correct. Question. And it's very likely that Mr. Winslow, I know you don't know because you didn't remember, but Mr. Winslow could have been in the room also? Answer. Correct. But from your memory of that particular event, nobody tried to stop you from leaving, correct? Answer. No. Question. Nobody? Answer. Nobody tried to stop us from leaving. Question. So then you get into the car with Nikki and you drive home. Answer. We went back to her place. Question. So on the drive from the house to Nikki's house, we're talking about the first incident here. You didn't say that Mr. Winslow tried to force himself on you, did you? Answer. I did not. Question. Because he didn't? Answer. He did not. Question. And you didn't say, all you did talk about was what, his friend Matt came in. Did you tell her that? Answer. Yes. Question. And you weren't cool with it? Answer. Correct. So it was about 2 weeks go by. This is 2003, sort of pre-everybody having a cell phone thing, right? Answer. Yes. Question. So you didn't have Mr. Winslow's phone number? Answer. I did not. Question. You didn't give him your phone number? Answer. I did not have a cell phone. Question. Okay. Had you found out who he was between the first and the second incident? Answer, I did not. Question, okay. You never asked anybody? Answer, no. Question, didn't ask your friend Nikki, who was that guy? Answer, I mean, I asked her how, does Chris know him? And she said they went to school together. Question, so it's your memory that Nikki didn't say anything about Mr. Winslow being a college football player, potentially a pro football player? Answer, no. Question, no? So 2 weeks pass. You see, from your direct testimony, you guys are, I think, leaving the party, and you see Mr. Winslow and Matt coming by you in a car? Answer, we were leaving a party, and we see Chris, Matt, and Kellan. They were walking towards the house, and then we waved them down. Question, okay, when you say we, did you wave them down? Answer, no, Nikki waved them down. Question, did you say, hey Nikki, don't wave that guy down because he did some weird stuff to me last time? Answer, no, we were waving down Chris. Question, okay. Answer, and then didn't think anything of it. Question, you saw the guy you were with 2 weeks earlier, right? Answer, yes. Question, what you wanted to do was be with that person that you were with 2 weeks earlier. Isn't that fair to say? Answer, no. Question, no? Answer, what do you mean by be with him? Question, well, I mean, make contact with him, party, do whatever socializing. Answer, like hang out, yes. Question, so I guess the point is, from the first incident to the second incident, there was nothing about Mr. Winslow that caused you any concern or any fear, correct? Answer, correct. Question, because otherwise you wouldn't have waved them down? Answer, yes. Question, right? So you see the guy, you're attracted to him, at least attracted to him enough the first time to have sex with him. You see him again and you wave them down, correct? Answer, yes. Question, all right. So you were all talking, figuring out what the next place to go is, right? Answer, yes. Question, and sometimes there's parties and sometimes there's not, agreed? Answer, yes. Question, and somebody says that, we should go to this condo or the house? Answer, no. First we said we should meet at a gas station to figure it out because the police were heading to the party we were at the time we saw them. Question, so this is when did you get to the gas station? Answer, right after we left the first party. Question, and you did, so we're clear, you did all your drinking at the first party? Answer, correct. Question, and I think you said in your prelim testimony that you drank the 2 or 3 beers in about an hour at the party, right? Answer, yes. Question, what time did the party let out? Answer, I don't remember. Question, it was a late party, an early party? Answer, I'm sure it was a late party. Question, so if the police are coming to break it up, maybe what, 10, 11? 11. Question, 11 o'clock, give or take? Answer, yeah. Question, right, so you had been drinking from 10 to 11, or drinking from 9 to 10, if you recall? Answer, I want to say 10 to 11. Question, okay, so that wasn't the first time you ever had any alcohol, I take it? Answer, no, it's not. Question, no? I mean, you're a teenager at the time, and you go to parties and there's alcohol, correct? Answer, yeah. Question, and you drink? You drank beer at the time? Answer, yes. Question, and you said previously in your testimony that you knew that 3 is kind of your limit, so you try to always keep it to 3? Answer, yes. Question, but on this particular occasion, when you left the house after drinking for an hour or so, strike that, like, you didn't, 15 years ago, do you think you were keeping track of time that you were drinking? Answer, I'm sorry? Question, 15 years ago, you're 17 years old, right? Answer, okay. Question, do you think that you're looking at your clock to figure out how much time I've been drinking for? Answer, no. Question, so is this kind of your best estimate, right? Answer, yes. Question, but you know personally from your own experience that 3 was kind of your limit, right? Answer, yes. Question, and 2 or 3 drinks is 2, 3 beers is kind of what you would do when you were at some of the parties, fair? Answer, yes. Question, is that fair for me to say? Answer, yes. Question, okay, so that's more or less what you're basing the memory on, right? Answer, yes. Question, but you also know, well, you know what more than 3 beers does to you, I take it. Answer, yes. Question, especially back when you were 17? Answer, yes. So you know that evening you would recall whether or not you were use the term sloppy drunk, right? Answer, I'm sorry, can you ask the question again? Question, you know what a sloppy drunk is, right? Answer, yes. Question, you weren't a sloppy drunk. Answer, no. Question, right? You weren't falling over? Answer, no. Question, you weren't, slurring your words? Answer, no. Question, I mean, people weren't saying, Ms. Doe, you can't, you're wasted. Nobody told you that, did they? Answer, no, not that I know of, no. Question, because you weren't? Answer, yes. Question, okay, so you go into the parking lot, right? And that's the parking lot at the gas station. And that's where this photo is taken, right? Yes. So the photo of you and Mr. Winslow was taken in the parking lot at the gas station, correct? Answer, yes. Question, and you said it was Nicole that took the picture of you? Answer, yes. Question, so did you ask Nicole to take the picture of you? Answer, I believe so. Question, because you were having a good time? Answer, yes. Question, and Mr. Winslow there, does he appear the way he did that evening? Answer, yes. With a bag of potato chips sitting in his car, right? Answer, yes. Question, you guys were just chilling in the parking lot? Answer, at the gas station. Question, at the gas station, right? Answer, yes. And you appear to be pretty happy. You've got a smile on your face. Answer, it's a photo. You smile, so yes. Question, I mean, were you sad? Answer, no. Question, when you took the picture? Answer, no. Question, no. I mean, you had no reason to be, right? Answer, no. Question, I mean, you were with your friends. You were thinking about some other place to socialize with, right? Answer, yes. Question, and you feel comfortable around Mr. Winslow despite what happened to you 2 weeks ago? Answer, correct. Question, right. Do you appear, I mean, you know yourself, right? Do you appear to be intoxicated there? Answer, not like sloppy drunk, no. Question, and once again, nothing liquid or solid into your stomach between the party and the house? Answer, no. Question, I always say that. It's a bad way to ask. You would agree with me that there was nothing, no liquid or solid food into your system from the house, from the party all the way to the house? Answer, no liquid, solid food from the party to the house. Question, okay, so you also testified during the preliminary hearing that you were feeling buzzed. Do you remember using that term? Answer, yes. Question, during direct, the prosecutor asked you whether you were starting to feel the effects of the alcohol. Do you remember that? Answer, yes. Question, but you would agree that there's a difference between being buzzed and a difference between being drunk? Answer, correct. Question, and your terminology, even you know what it is when you call yourself buzzed versus drunk, right? Answer, yes. Question, and you would agree with me that during the preliminary hearing when you testified under oath, you never said that you were drunk? Answer, I did not say I was drunk. Question, right. And the most you said that you felt a little buzzed? Answer, yes. Question, and by buzzed, I'm assuming What you mean by that is you're still kind of in control. I mean, you feel good, right? Answer, yes. Question, I mean, you're able to walk. Answer, yes. Question, yes, you're able to talk. Answer, yes. Question, all right. You had no problems with, coordination or muscle control? Answer, I did not. Question, because you would have remembered that. Answer, yes. Question, so what's significant about this is if you were, like, I'll use the word trashed, right? Like falling down drunk. You would have remembered that, right? Answer, if I was that intoxicated, I wouldn't remember that. Question, but in this particular case, you remember everything leading up to the couch, right? Answer, I remember the bathroom and the couch. Question, right. Answer, but I don't remember walking into the house. Question, that's the point I'm making. You remember everything from that evening, from the party all the way to the bathroom and the couch. Answer, yes. Question, you remember most of the details. Answer, yes. Question, you remember pretty much what you had to drink, right? Answer, yes. And you remember the fact that nobody else gave you anything, right? Answer, yes. Question, you remember all the people that were there, right? All the people you were involved with? Answer, yes. Question, their names, right? Answer, yes. Question, what they were driving? Answer, yes. Question, you recall the sequence of events about being, going from this location to the Jack in the Box, then to the gas station, and then to the house. You recall all of that? Answer, yes. Question, so it's fair for me to say that you were probably not falling down drunk during that period of time? Answer, I was not. Question, and then for some reason you just went blank? Answer, yes. Just like that. Just. Answer, I went to the restroom. I started to feel the effects of it, the alcohol. Trying to drink some water from the tap, used the bathroom to help some of the alcohol release from my body, splashing water on my face. So I knew in that bathroom that I may have overdrank the amount that I had or the beer that I had. Question, did you tell anybody? Answer, no. Question, did you tell Mr. Winslow, hey, I'm really feeling the effects of this alcohol? Answer, not that I remember. Question, did you tell that to Matt? Answer, not that I remember. Question, did you tell it to Nikki? Answer, Nikki at that point was not there. Question, no, before Nikki, when you parted with Nikki, did you tell her that you were starting to feel the effects of alcohol? Answer, I wasn't feeling it until the bathroom. Question, okay, so at the bathroom then, looking in the mirror, you were able to make it to the bathroom. You remember Mr. Winslow knocking on the door saying, hurry up. Answer, yes. Question, so then you walked back to sit on the couch. Answer, I don't remember walking back to the couch. Question, okay. Do you remember being on the couch? Answer, yes. Question, so this break between the bathroom and the couch? Answer, yes. And so somehow you went from the bathroom to the couch and you don't remember? Answer, correct. Question, looking down at the fabric, and the next thing you know, then Mr. Winslow's behind you? Answer, I remember seeing Matt and Kellan in the kitchen while I was sitting on the couch. Question, okay. What were they doing in the kitchen? Answer, just talking. Question, were they drinking anything? Answer, not that I can see or remember. Question, what was anything about Mr. Winslow, like was he wearing the same clothes that you saw in the picture? Answer, yes. Question, how about Matt? Answer, I remember him wearing blue jeans. Question, and you saw them speak for maybe a minute or so and then that's it? Answer, correct. Question, and then the next thing you know, I'm going back to your preliminary hearing testimony. You were on all fours, right? Answer, yes. Question, you weren't lying down flat. Answer, I was not. Question, so you were on all fours. Mr. Winslow was behind you. Answer, yes. Question, right? And then the way you described it in your preliminary hearing, and I think here in your direct testimony, is Matt lying down in front of you with his legs spread and he has no clothes on? Answer, yes. Question, okay. And Mr. Winslow has you by the back of the hair and he's forcing your face into Matt's crotch? Answer, yes. Question, Matt says, well, you say no, 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 right? I say stop. Answer, I say stop. Question, stop. Answer, stop. Question, and that's what you recall, saying stop? Answer, yes. Question, and then you push against him. The way you described it, you pushed against him with the palm of your hands backwards on his thighs? Answer, yes. Question, so with both hands? Answer, with both of my hands. Question, so did you then lie face down? Answer, yes. Question, to do that? Answer, so my face is now against the bed and my hands pushing against his thighs. Question, and is that when you were able to see the, well, I take it Matt's crotch was out of the way by then? Answer, Matt had moved. Question, Matt had moved, okay. And you were then able to see the video camera at that point? Answer, no. Question, you said when you looked over you didn't see a video camera then? Answer, after Matt moved out of the way, Kellan flipped me onto my back, and that's when I looked to the left, and that's when I saw the camera. Question, okay, and how many people behind the camera? Answer, I saw one shadow, like I didn't see the person's face. I just saw a shadow of a body to the left of me and the camera in front of it. Question, and they were standing in the doorway or they were standing in the room? Answer, there was a window to the left and he was standing in front of the window. Question, so then it's your testimony that Matt said, you know, just stop, dude, just stop? Answer, yes. Question, right? Are you sure it was Matt that said that? Answer, I believe it was him. Question, okay, and then Mr. Winslow, according to your testimony, then stopped? Answer, yes. Question, and backed away from you, right? Answer, yes. And then it's your testimony that Matt comes to you and says, starts helping you get dressed? Answer, yes. Question, all right. Now you would agree with me under this situation that Matt is essentially one of your rapists if this happened the way you said it did? Yes? Answer, yes. Question, you didn't want to have your face in Matt's crotch, right? Answer, correct. Question, Matt had his clothes off, right? Answer, correct. Question, the point is, Matt, right? Matt's telling the person to stop, correct? Answer, yes. And Matt is now coming to your assistance? Answer, yes. Question, Matt is helping you get dressed? Answer, yes. Question, and you didn't have any problem with Matt helping you? Answer, I'm just drunk. Question, I'm asking, did you have any problem with Matt helping you? Answer, no. Question, Matt then helps you get to your clothes on, right? Answer, yes. Question, are Matt's clothes on by now? Answer, yes. Question, so he then picks you up according to your testimony, right? Answer, yes. Question, were you on the bed when he picked you up or were you standing? How did that happen? Answer, I was sitting on the edge of the bed. Question, okay, he helped you get your clothes on. What did he do? Help you pull your pants up? Answer, he helped me stand so I could pull my pants up. Question, and did he give you a shirt to wear? Answer, I had my shirt. He handed me my shirt. Question, all right, so then did he say something to you? Answer, I don't remember. Question, so it's your testimony then that he picked you up, right? Answer, yes. Question, and then he walked you down the stairs? Answer, I don't remember any stairs. I just remember a door opening into a garage. Question, what you remember though is Matt carrying you from the bed to the garage? Answer, yes. Question, and I guess the door opened. You didn't see anybody on the way though, right? Answer, I did not. Question, you didn't see Mr. Winslow? Answer, I did not. Question, you didn't see the guys in Anybody with a video camera? Answer, I did not. Question, you didn't see whether there was any people milling about? Answer, I did not. Question, so we get into once again, Matt still has you in his hands and you walk into the garage. You remember a white BMW, right? Answer, I remember the emblem. I remember the emblem on the steering wheel. Question, did you remember it was white? Answer, I don't remember. Question, did you remember testifying in your preliminary hearing that it was a white BMW? Answer, I don't remember. Question, you don't remember that offhand? Answer, no. Question, is that something that you were unclear of now? Answer, no. The court, is this a good time to take our lunch break?
You guys want to go to lunch?
Not yet.
No? Okay. All right, so is that it for the day then, Stephanie?
We have after lunch, the cross-examination.
And how many pages is that?
30 pages.
Okay, so we're not finishing in the 5 minutes, right?
Not 5.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We'll go ahead and recess for the day. We'll come back tomorrow. I have a number of cases right at 9 o'clock with a number of attorneys and parties coming in. So do you feel it'd be productive to go and start deliberating at 9 o'clock? Okay, so we'll order you back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And as soon as I've had the clerk send emails to all the attorneys and parties to be here early, and we're gonna crank through those cases as quickly as possible, and I'll bring you all in and we'll finish up the read back. So you wanna head back to the jury room, right? So head back to the jury room and we'll see you back here at 9 o'clock, and I'm hoping to get to you by 9:30 or so, and we'll finish the read back, all right? Have a nice night. Thank you. You have those other matters to deal with. As I said, I have a bunch of attorneys and a bunch of parties coming in here right at 9. And I'll probably do everything I can up to 9:30, and if they're not done by then, we'll hit the read back. So why don't you all be here at 9:30? Are there any further requests, Mr. Owens?
No, thank you.
On behalf of the defense?
No, yeah.
All right, we're in recess till tomorrow morning at 9:30.